It's morphin' time. Tyrannosaurus. Hello there, Brian the Fanboy here, and today I'm gonna talk about Power Rangers. Finally, I've been waiting to do this video for some time now. I mean, the reason I haven't talked about made a video about this series yet because I wanted to talk about the things I've been a fan of before Power Rangers, and now the time has come for me to talk about it. Also, my favorite YouTube stars had did talk about things they most enjoyed when they were kids. For example, Katie Wilson has Xena, Melanie Mack has Lara Croft. For me, it was Power Rangers. Now, how I first learned about Power Rangers was, well, you see, when me and my family were still living in Chanceburg, Massachusetts, well, I saw the promo for Power Rangers, but it was back in spring of 1993. And I think I remember watching dinosaurs in it, but there were other people in it as well. And well, I didn't know what to expect. And when I talked to a kid I knew in the class I was in at the time, he had no idea what I was talking about. Maybe because he didn't watch Fox Kids on Sunday mornings. But anyway, now months later, when my family moved to Metro, Massachusetts, well, I can't remember if it was before or after I started Catholic school, but once my father got a keyboard installed in the house we are now living in, then sometime afterwards I started watching Power Rangers on a weekday afternoon. Now I don't remember if it was the first episode or another one, but as soon as I saw an episode of Power Rangers for the first time, it became my favorite show for the rest of my childhood. I mean, it had everything. It had dinosaurs, it had aliens, robots, karate, superheroes, so many things that young boys like at the time. I mean, sure, I know there were girls who liked the show as well, but I think a majority of fans were mostly boys because, those are the things they most enjoy. And let's see, oh yes, and only that, it also didn't hurt that the original Rangers had robots that were shaped like dinosaurs, and they could combine to make one giant robot. I mean, as a kid, I enjoyed dinosaurs a lot, and I showed robotic dinosaurs. Well, that was something I really enjoyed about the original series. And and even though I had seen other like action superhero shows before, mostly like the Superman show from the 50s and the Batman show from the 60s, Power Rangers was something like I never seen before. And also, after my parents got divorced, then the series was a nice escape from the real life drama that was going on at the time. And also, the original Pink Ranger, Kimberly, she also had divorced parents too, so it was nice that one of the Rangers, knew what I was going through. But anyway, back to the show. Now, yes, as a kid, I enjoyed Power Rangers a lot when I started watching it, and even one of the toys as well. Of course, I remember one time when my mother brought me to Toys R Us to buy a Power Ranger toy, so I can take to school for show and tell. They didn't have any, and I cried a lot. But that's because I was still a kid by then. And recently, I did keep Power Rangers toys, although there was this set of Power Ranger toys my mother gave me. They were like each figure was like this size, and I thought they were Power Rangers, but turns out they were like some knockoff toys. Of course, I didn't know that at the time. Now, later on, I did see the five-part episode Green with Evil that introduced Tommy. Oh yeah, I forgot the Rangers. Yes, so as I started watching Power Rangers for the first time, I, went into the characters. There was Zack the Black Ranger, Kimberly the Pink Ranger, Billy the Blue Ranger, Trini the Yellow Ranger, and Jason the Red Ranger. And then later on, I saw the show Cruel and Evil that introduced Tommy, who became the Green Ranger. Of course, I didn't see the part when he became evil, during the first part of the saga. I think it was because, there were times when my mother would bring me and my sister to a store because we were still too young to stay at home at the time. But yes, eventually I did get see that episode along with other trailers out on video cassette, so I knew the whole story, how it all happened, and how we went from being evil to being good. Now, in December of 1983, when my family was visiting my mother's side of the family for Christmas around that time, well, sometime after we got there, I saw this show that was kind of like Power Rangers. Of course, at the time, I thought it was the Power Rangers of Peru, since that's where I was watching it. Of course, it wasn't that. It was just turns out it was another show that was in Spanish. But I think I'll talk more about that in another video. Sometime after I got back from America, I mean from Peru, then some changes during the first season. For example, Tommy lost his powers, but then he came back episodes later, and enjoyed the final season as well. I mean the first season. And then I think around June or maybe it was May of 1994. Well, I saw the season premiere of Power Rangers season two, which introduced Lord Zed because well he was fed up with Rita fighting a lot, so he banished her. And then later in the during the fall season of '94, I saw other changes like not only was there was Lord Zed replaced Rita as the main boss, but also eventually Tommy lost his Green Ranger powers forever, but eventually he became the White Ranger. And of course, eventually Jason, Trini, Zack left the show and eventually replaced by Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. Of course, at that time I didn't know it's because the three of the original actors left because Sapa wanted to give them more money. And of course, in Christmas of 1994, I finally got Power Ranger toys. Only those flip heads. And also my father found me some Power Ranger toys, but eventually there came a time when he said no toys, so I accepted it. And then let's see. Oh, as for video games, well, I never well even though I didn't own the Power Ranger video game for the Super Nintendo, back when still new, I did play it at the house where my cousin and his parents were staying at. And then let's see. Oh yeah, eventually Rita uh, came back and Lord Zed married her, and it was a big change for the series. And also when I started watching Power Rangers, was introduced to Sora and Alva, and when I was a kid, I imagined my friends from school would pretend to be Power Rangers. I mean, when I started Catholic school, me and my friends would like the first time I met over there, we were playing Power Rangers, and well, of course, another time I didn't know if I should say a watcher or not because you see, I didn't want to be made fun of for watching the shows, but well, at the time I didn't know how old you were supposed to be too old for something or not. And also, I have it here. All right, then around the summer of 1995, I think, yes, I saw no, not saw, maybe it was spring of 1995, but I saw the trailer for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Oh, no, 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 it wasn't on TV. It was actually a video cassette of the Page Master, which I don't know if my cousin owned that or his parents rented it for him, but during the previews and that video cassette, we did see the trailer for the Power Rangers movie at the time. Because we were confused about the settings because it was nothing like a TV show. Then eventually in the summer of 1995, I finally got to watch. My father brought me and my sister to watch the movie in theaters. And then once the movie became available on video cassette, I got a copy of one for Christmas, and my cousin did too. We even reenacted scenes from the movie, used with his stories as well. Pretending as well, you know, like acting it out. Also, when me and my cousin were kids, we would play Power Rangers a lot. Sometimes with sometimes with toys, or sometimes with just kind of like acting. Like we would kick around, we pretend to kick imaginary monsters and stuff, like fight imaginary monsters. And then season three came around, and well, it started with a three-part series that was supposed to be like a pilot for another show. But then, came the one that introduced the ninja swords. I mean, they were shown in the movie, but now they were introduced in a way that more of a continuity of the series because, well, the movie has nothing to do with the show at all. It was not a continuation. I mean, it didn't take place in the same universe. And then, let's see, yes, it was into ninja and then ninja swords. And then, let's see, and eventually, Kimberly left the show, and she was replaced by Catherine. Of course, at that time, I didn't know it was because the original actress Amy Johnson wanted to do other things. I mean, you see, as a kid, I didn't pay much attention to what the actors were doing. I just watched, I watched the show I like, and that's it. And then came the time when, oh yeah, also they got the Joking swords, and then once Master File came along and turned back time to make all the Ranger kids, children. Well, unlike the last time that happened, the Ranger kept the memories of being teenagers. And that introduced the saga that introduced the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, which were Rangers from the planet Aquadar. And as a kid, I was looking forward to the Human Rangers coming back, which did happen on the season 3 finale of Power Rangers, or Alien Rangers. I mean, it was not a separate series, but it was part of the season 3 as well. And then, during the something after I saw this like kind of like uh, mini shorts of the Machine Empire coming close to Earth, and then came Power Rangers CEO, and also and only that they introduced a new character, Tanya, because you see, Aisha decided to stay in Africa, and Tanya took her place to bring the Hercule crystal uh, to Inchu Grove or the command center. And after the command was blown up, the Rangers, well, no, no, before that happened, the circus were used to make to turn back time to make the time go back to normal, and everybody was the proper ages again. Even the Rangers themselves became teenagers, and then the aliens went back to their home, and Earth Rangers came to started to well get ready to get some new powers. Of course, before that, the command center exploded, blew up, but then on the first episode of CEO, The Rangers they found the crystals and discovered the command chamber, which repaired almost everything. And of course, the Rangers got new costumes. I mean, yeah, it was like the was sort of the annual costume changes of Power Rangers. I mean, the early Rangers was just kind of like a preview of what's to come, and eventually Theo was the start of it being a yearly basis. And so, Cat became Series 1 pink, and Tanya became Series 2 yellow, and of course, Rocky, the Boy Rangers, the middle ones, they changed their colors. For example, Rocky became Series 3 blue, Adam became Series 4 green, and Tommy became Series 5 green red. He was still the leader. And very soon, the Machine Empire came along and attacked Earth. I mean, but before they did that, they first scared away Zed, Rita, and their minions. But they came back eventually later in the season. And then eventually came the Gold Ranger, and well, really he was an alien from the planet Triforia, and what he had all his powers, so eventually Billy became the first choice because to replace him because he was in a ranger for a while, but then something went wrong and he couldn't get the powers. So eventually, Tommy brought somebody else, and it was Jason. So he came back for the rest of the season. Of course, eventually, he couldn't handle the Gold Ranger power any longer, so his powers had to be transferred back to Trey. And eventually, we saw the end of CEO. And then came Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Now, I did want to see the movie. Of course, I never got a chance to see the theaters because you see, every time I wanted to bring it up, my father got mad about something, and I knew it wasn't the right time to talk about it. And then came Power Rangers Turbo, the TV show, and there was something I didn't understand because I didn't see the movie. I mean, they had a recap of what happened before, but I really there was still some things, different pieces of puzzles. And eventually, I did see the Turbo movie on video cassette, and I saw to introduce the new villain Diva Dogs and her team as well. And see, yeah, and she became a regular in the TV show. Of course, eventually, I kind of stopped watching Power Rangers. Well, I mean, I would watch reruns of the old episodes, but I wouldn't didn't follow Turbo. Of course, my reason wasn't like most people at the time. My reason was because, well, she was a bad person, and her outfit. Well, I because I went to Kelly school at the time, seeing a bad woman in an outfit like that was something but should be discouraged. But eventually, I got over that, and started watching Power Sister on a regular basis. Only it was during the second half of the season, and it's because I heard new Rangers came along. Of course, they were replaced, the previous four Rangers. So we got now. Oh yeah, I forgot. In Project Turbo, we had Cat became the pink Ranger. Tanya became the yellow Turbo Ranger. Adam became the green Turbo Ranger, and Tommy became the red Turbo Ranger. And the new Turbo Ranger was Justin. He was only the only kid Ranger in Power Rangers history to be a Ranger. Of course, he would turn 13, few episodes, 7 episodes in the TV series, so he became a teenager as well. Just he wasn't as old as the other ones. And the new set of Turbo Rangers, we had Cassie who became the new Pink Ranger, Ashley who became the new Yellow Ranger, Carlos who became the new Green Turbo Ranger, and DJ who became the new Red Turbo Ranger. Justin was still a Ranger because he was still a teenager. In the other Rangers, they were getting older, and it was time for them to move on with their lives. Now, and then during the season finale of Turbo, TV talks and her forces found the commander during oh, sorry, I'm here again. Yes, and then the commander said it was destroyed and there was no way to fix it again like before. So the Turbo Rangers decided to go to space and look for help. Of course, just didn't go with them because, well, you see, the Justin character, well, his father had him staying out of different places in foster care because, well, he didn't think he could raise him without his mother. But eventually, he got a new job, another place, and he wanted Justin to come with him so they can be a family again. And well, Justin, he was kind of, wasn't sure what to do. But then in the end, he decided to be with his father because, it's the only family he has, and wanted to make sure things go well. And so the remaining four Rangers went into space, and that was in a dirt boat. And then came Power Rangers in Space, which was the final Power Rangers series of the Saban era. And you see, it all started when Steve there was a party on the moon where all all the evil forces that the Power Rangers fought before were having a party because the main leader of all these villains were actually what's this guy named well a monster called Dark Spectre, and according to him, he captured Zordon and conquered the planet Eltar. Yes, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention, yeah, for toys. Well, like, oh yeah, they mentioned. Yeah, I can talk about the Flippets. Yeah, yes. And I also got some Power Rangers toys for my birthday when back in '96. Yeah, I think I forgot to mention that. But anyway, back to in space. Well, it then introduced there was another Red Ranger, and he went and he came back to his own ship. Turns out that the Earth Rangers already arrived there, and well, at first he thought they were intruders, and then turns out learned that they were Rangers too. And then when he demorphed, he would be a human named Andros. And of course, well, at first, Andros he was a Solar Ranger, like he wanted to do things on his own. But eventually, he learned that the other Rangers would be a big help. And well, eventually he get a new morphers, and well, Cassie and Ashley were still pink and yellow. I mean, Cassie was still pink and Ashley was still yellow. And Carlos became the new Space Ranger, and TG became the new Blue Space Ranger. And since Andros was already the Red Space Ranger, he became the new leader. And they fought against an evil alien princess named Astronema. Now, unlike the previous season, well, Punisher Space, they kind of like different story arcs, mostly with Andros because, well, it turns out that he has a long lost sister named Caron, and he's been searching for her for many years. And eventually, later on, he discovered that Astronema was Caron the whole time. So he had no idea that he's been fighting his sister, all this time. And once Astronema or Caron realized who she really was, she decided to help out the Rangers. It became good, but that was temporary because eventually she was captured and well, she was reprogrammed to become evil again. And then the many episodes came the series finale of Power Rangers in Space, and then eventually well the way to according to Zordon, the way to win was to hit it was for Andros to destroy his energy tube. But eventually, before that happened, Ron or Saruman wanted to fight Andros, and he kind of like defeated her, which by mistake killed her. And when Ecliptor saw what happened, he was upset. But before Ecliptor could finish Andros off, Andros destroyed Saruman's tube, and then a wave came around and destroyed a lot of monsters and made some of the villains humans. For example, Dividox became human, and Lord and Zenrita became humans as well. The Rangers kind of lost their powers, and well, when Andros came with holding Corona in his arms, he was sad because he was gone. But eventually, the evil that was put on Corona, well, eventually she woke up and became good again. And it was this, and then once Rachel went to Andros and Corona's home planet. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I always keep forgetting to mention things in these videos. Yeah, like before they have few episodes before, they were introduced to a six ranger called Saint, the Silver Ranger, and then yes, of course he had broke his powers, but then that was all fixed. Now back to the series finale. Well, the girl, yeah, as soon as the whole the battle was over, the war was over. Well, the Rangers went to KO 35, to do some to help with some rebuilding. And the Earth Rangers were going to take the Astro Mega ship to Earth to start new life. And then Andros, Caron, and Saint decided to come with him because for one thing, Andros wanted to be with Ashley, and it's a good time for Saint to spend time with Caron because he had a romantic thing going on in the past episode. And of course, yeah, the Saban era ended. Of course, back then I thought the final episode of Power Rangers in Space was the final episode of Power Rangers ever. Of course, then came Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, but I'm not gonna say too much about any of these series in this video because there are so many right now. So I'll just skip ahead to what happened. Well, anyway, and Power Rangers, yes, as soon as Lost Galaxy started, well, many they're gonna start the annual cash change as well. Like a different Power Rangers for every season. I mean, it's not like you have previous which is from previous season to change the person next. No, it was more like revisit the actors every year. Now, during my while I was growing up watching Power Rangers, I learned some things I didn't know. For example, well, I don't remember it was back in 1977, but I remember I was in fourth grade, and well, my father he told me that he found out on the internet that Power Rangers was sorry about that. The Power Rangers was based on a Japanese comic book series, and of course, according to him, he said that when my cousin heard about that, well, my cousin he cried, saying, "No, no, no, the Power Rangers are American," and all that stuff. But for me, I didn't act like that. I have more often, I didn't know that kind of attitude. As a matter of fact, I even imagined a Power Ranger comic book series with a title being Japanese. Of course, at the time, I didn't know that the writing that they have in East Asia was more different than I thought. I mean, I thought it was just like letters. I didn't think it was like a bunch of, symbols or characters at the time. I only learned it when I got older. And then, during the half, but after the first half of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, there was this thing called the Lost Episode, which was like a, another pilot episode, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But you see, no, 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 yeah, yes, I mean, it's not that would have been, but it's oh, this thing again. All right then. Yes, so let's see. Yeah, but now, yeah, oh yeah, I know. It was hosted. The airing was hosted by Arthur St. John, who played Jason, the original Red Ranger, and Todd Boulder, who played the original Black Ranger. And well, according to one of them, I think it was Arthur St. John, he said that Power Ranger was based on a Japanese show called Go Ranger. Only his information was off as well, just like how my father's information about Power Rangers being based on comic books was also off as well. And then when VH1 had its I Love the 90s series, when they went to their episode about 1993, they talked about Power Rangers. I mean, that was part of the episode. And Walter Jones, who played Zack the original Black Ranger, well, he said that well, what they did was they mix footage, they mix Japanese footage with footage with English-speaking actors, or at least American actors, because it was the show was still being filmed in Los Angeles at the time. So for many years, I had to always guess out which scenes from Power Rangers were Japanese footage and which series on Power Rangers were American footage. And most I would guess a lot. And then when Power Rangers Dino Thunder came along, well, they had this episode called Lost in Found Translation, and in that episode, the Dino Thunder Rangers found this show from Japan, which is about them, or not. It was more like a Japanese version. It was more like an English dub version of the show that that city was based on. And well, from what I learned, it was an accurate dub, and it was pretty to be really silly. But it just shows how entertainment of American and Japanese are very different. And yes, and so it's the first time I saw an episode of the Japanese version. Well, no, no, or at least what I thought it was the first, but I came around with another video, and eventually, oh yes, when Pirates Wildfire was going on, well, eventually, Fox decided not to air it on Fox Kids anymore, or their entire network altogether. From what I read about, it seems that the Fox network kind of got tired of Power Rangers, and they want new stuff now. And and as soon as Fox Kids became the Fox Box, well, episodes of Power Rangers were now aired on ABC Family, which later became part of the Jetix block. So I watched it, and remember, oh yeah, I should also know that I was in high school at the time, so even though I wasn't like the target audience at the time anymore, I still watched it because I still wanted the continuity of what happened before, and I didn't get, and I didn't get, yeah. So even though some would say I was too old for Power Rangers, I was still watching it. Of course, I didn't ask for the toys anymore because well, for one thing, this was a time when people could buy toys for themselves. Well, when you know, and people, people who are when adults buy toys for themselves had something wrong with it. I mean, people thought adults who, but I think you know what I mean. Yes. Well, anyway, yes, I was still watching Power Rangers, new episodes, and then eventually, well, Power Rangers stopped airing on TV and basic cable altogether. Or at least it stopped airing on ABC Family, and the only way I could watch it was on the Jetix network, which used to be Toon Disney. But of course, I didn't wasn't able to watch Power Rangers on a regular basis anymore because, well, for one thing, I knew my mother would not want to spend money for her premium channel, and well, around that time I was no longer in high school anymore, and my father already passed away, or was going to pass away because, well, he had cancer at the time. And then, well, you know, there was a lot of drama going on, at the time because after my father passed away, there was some there was like something about his will because, well, for one thing, he gave all his money to his second wife and not for me and my sister. It was unfortunate. Yeah, but that's not what the video is about. Anyway, yeah, so for a while I didn't watch Power Rangers on a regular basis because, well, the provider my family was using at the time didn't carry Jetix, and, well, I didn't have enough money to help pay for Jetix. And actually, my mother wouldn't want me to watch something that's intended for shows because, she wanted me to grow up. Yeah, so I mean, back then we had no idea what a big thing fan would become, and now these days, or it's how they become. And then let's see, and now shortly after I started working on Stop and Chat, well, I wanted to save money so I can buy a laptop, to look for opportunities. And eventually, on my, I think it was 22 or 23, but I got a laptop, and I use it for to look information about stuff. And then when I discovered YouTube, well, I found some episodes of, not episodes, I mean videos of openings from old TV shows. And of course, found some partnership openings as well. And of course, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, before that, when I was using, before that, I did look at information on another computer before and learned that partnership was adapted from a Japanese TV series called Super Sentai. And I'll talk more about that show in another video. Now, yes, after I got found openings on my new laptop, well, I discovered when I was watching a opening for the old Superman TV show from the 1950s. Well, at the end of the video, it talked about a thing called Into TV, where you can watch TV shows for free. Of course, not every TV show was available on that site. Not even every episode of every show as well. But I did check for Power Rangers, and, well, what I did was I made this line, which means I could watch not only the old stuff, but what was new at the time. So I did what any Power Rangers fans would do. I started the beginning and worked my way through everything that happened. And eventually, I managed to watch every episode of Power Rangers ever made, going from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to Power Rangers RPM. Of course, well, anyway, this was back up. Of course, it was back before yes, about back the race. But anyway, yes, I did manage to watch it. And once I started watching, I finished watching every episode of Power Rangers ever. Well, I decided to watch the Japanese version of Power Rangers. I mean, not the ones that wasn't that good at the time. You see, the, what happened was that after Wild Force, Disney bought the rights to Power Rangers, and, well, at first they wanted to make money off airing reruns, but instead they decided to continue airing the series in New Zealand. I mean, film the series in New Zealand because being it would be actors less because you see since the fun was funny things, well, it was a non-union series, and he didn't, so he had every right to not pay actors more than they want. I mean, and I think this thing he was 17 because and it's probably in New Zealand, actors over there they get paid less, but they probably would accept the money because was a lot of money. But it was a little money here, might be a lot of money over there. But then I guess Eventually, New Zealand course, actors will come no matter where they're from, whether it's from Japan, America. They would travel to New Zealand if they want to be in Power Rangers. Oh, okay. All right then. Yeah. So and eventually, so Bond bought back the rights to Power Rangers because you see, Disney decided not to film any more Power Rangers after RBM, and it was kind of yeah, I guess it's disappointing for many Power Rangers fans, but eventually he wanted to continue the series. Only unlike previous series seasons, each series had to yeah, sorry about that. That was my phone. Anyway, yes, had to be divided. So like for example, Power Rangers Samurai was the first season of was known as the Neon Soprano era. And then we got Super Samurai, which was the season that came after that. Yeah, they didn't. I mean, there's this. Some say it's because Nickelodeon probably allows every show to have at least around 20 or to 22 seasons, episodes per season, which is why Power Rangers was way behind for Super Sentai. Yes, so we have, and then eventually Hasbro from bought the rights to Power Rangers, and they started with Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Now, as for the fandom of Power Rangers, well, like I said before, I was a big fan of Power Rangers when I was a kid, and even though and I've been rewatching some rewatch some of the old as well, and I've been catching up with ones I haven't seen before. And as much as I want to have Power Rangers stuff, well, it's not possible for me at this moment because, well, you see, back when I was working at Stop and Shop, I didn't make as much money, and my mother wouldn't be happy if I order, toys on spend my money on toys because, well, she's one of those people who thinks that adults who buy toys for themselves have something wrong with them. I mean, that's the kind of thing I grew up in, and she doesn't understand that fandom has become a big thing these days, especially with a lot of figures going on. I think stuff even like figurines and plushies, pillows, toys, action figures, you name it. And if my original plan for the future went through, well, let's see. Yes, and I probably would have a collection of Power Rangers as well as toys from Super Sentai as well. Probably behind me, but not in this room, but in another place, maybe in an apartment or in a house that had studios for me. Just like all of my favorite YouTube stars do have. But it's not possible for me at the moment. And I don't know me because everything's what's happening in the world right now. I don't know if it will be possible. And I think how much these toys cost because they're very expensive. But still, yes. And as for this costume, I bought this on Amazon because I wanted to make videos like not just the ones I've been doing right now, for almost a year, but also like concept, like maybe parodies or maybe short films, those kind of things. Mm. And of course, I catch up with the Paralympic fan community, and I hope to one day to be hired to help promote Power Ranger stuff. And not being paid by Hasbro to do this, I really want to talk about my fandom of Power Rangers because this is something was really meaningful to me during my childhood. And I also became a big fan of the Japanese version as well, but I'll talk more about that in another video. I also want to go to Power Morphicon as well, but it wasn't possible for me right now. For many years. Maybe I'll go next year. I do not know, but oh yeah, I forgot to mention something. I had met actors from the Power Rangers franchise before. In convention before. I mean, I think let's see, the first one I met, let's see, was Oh yeah, Kat and Tanya. I mean, yeah, the actress who plays Kat and Tanya from the CEO. In fact, Nakia Paris, who plays Tanya, well, she gave me a kiss on the cheek, which was which I enjoyed very much. I mean, I don't have it on social media, but yeah, it's a lady who was I meet. I tried to figure out, but yeah, but I can't remember much. But I also have proof of me meeting one of them, not the one I mentioned, but I do have a picture of me meeting Amy Jo Johnson on at a Boston Comic Con 2 years ago. In fact, I have a picture right here on Facebook. Let's see if I can put it up for you. All right, I finally got it. Now, here's me in Amy Jo Johnson. Now you can see it. I mean, if you're watching this on a smart TV, might be bigger for you. But if you're watching this on a laptop or even a phone, then it's got a kind of small for you. Well, anyway, yes, I did meet her, and she even signed this the Pink Richard Craven novel, which I ordered from Amazon. Or maybe I bought it at Barnes& and Noble. But still, yes. Oh, speaking of graphic novels, I did buy the Power Ranger graphic novels from Boom Studios, and I even bought issues of the comic book as well. Most of them came. I mean, you see, I bought this at the comic book shop in Malta, Massachusetts. Even though I didn't live there, it was the only way to get there. Only comic book shop I can get to by bus. Only take one bus to get there. And order once I can order online, but yes. And even though I'm not able to read buy any comic books at the moment, maybe one day I could read digitally. Look get something later when I can. Yes, not to waste any to help save the environment and all that stuff. But yes, like I said before, Power Rangers was my favorite show growing up. I mean, I did like other shows as well, but Power Rangers was my most favorite. And it did bring the happiness for me once a kid. I mean, entertained, and even though I was at the age where shows like that were not supposed to be well, we're not really meant. I mean, sure, it was meant for children, but adults can should do and enjoy it as well. And if I had kids, if I ever had kids, I will want to share watching Brothers with them. Not just what's going to be new by them, but also the old stuff. And told them all about how much I enjoy the series. And I even introduced them to the Japanese version as well. But yeah, well, I think that's all I can say about Power Rangers in this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.